No one is live broadcast niggas. That data is 100 rand per gig. Yo, Nyaka Juliana, wait. Bob broke. Oh, what's this? Yes!
Okay, now I'm send you that clean.
Yeah, my place is very clean. Yo, look at the wall, do you see?
Very
clean.
It's mentioned. The one that's we laughs, that's it. That's like a person. Or never mind, it's weird because the thing is right here, but it's almost catching us. Do you see the angle?
Like it's.
It's like it's catching us here. With the thing.
No, it's okay. Let's see. If you sit up straight, it's different. If you sit backward, it's not bad. It's okay.
As long as we can see each other.
As long as we can say shit.
How's your new place? Sits now. Of course, how is it? How does it feel?
It's great. You know, the space is good. I do my shit. You know, who can't? It's just we'll take it over now and then. Living in a big house like this, I mean, this can be. They can be pressed. Come on, bruh. It's in a big house like this. I mean, come on. So sometimes you can feel the pressure.
Are you saying, wait, does it feel homey yet? Or are you still going to
Nah, it does.
Feel homey?
Nah. Actually, I like an empty house. We were talking about that with Val when she was here. What was it like? I told her because you know I'm getting and so she was saying so she was saying that, like, she's saying like it's nice, your place is nice, like, because actually like he ends, so there's, like, you know, space.
So what, you consider yourself a minimalist?
Yeah. I don't like saying that isn't a yes. I feel like this was instilled in me too. My aunts used to clean up actually, you know that white man, that one that we were looking for, the one that I had to find. Yeah, so she went and about like designs and stuff like that. And jealousy, on my phone isn't. Yeah, she was saying the my phone isn't. Ufuna izinto zibe like minimal engine. Yeah, but just like, for example, you know, in a black house, like this thing that you see there in the shop.
Yeah.
My trophy.
Even those are vase. True.
Yes, there's nothing wrong maybe to put in a couple of things.
To just make it
yeah, but not too much. It's like flowers and stuff like that. So
it's weird because I don't know how, for some reason, but we kept them for years. 10 years,
so why we something I know those places.
It's weird because, I mean, even the thing Jabo shoots at being a minimalist, I think I've even seen memes of people talking about because my mom collects those dishes as well. She has some makabeta like plates. Yeah, obviously they would use when there's like guests, but still as tea, don't you? It's weird. It's weird because now just yeah. In the future, what's going to happen to those dishes? Like, I understand you mean. But the problem is, the older she gets,
the more she wants.
The more she...
Yeah, but you almost like your mom too. Yeah. JC, boy, sex story. Jesus, where's
no,
I like this. Look at shape, huh? Look at shape.
No,
okay,
but
I
like...
That's cool about how...
I was about to say... I don't know why. I like towels. Towels, toothbrushes.
Yeah.
I like those things. But anyway, toothbrush was
toothbrush I mean, I didn't understand. We go in there, we figure I'm a towel. I'm like, umthithi unamathawula angaki unestats amathawula ngathi ihotela.
No, because I don't know. I like towels, and of course, you know, man, like I think I told you the thing. Of course, it's a healthy thing where you're supposed to get rid of these things after you've used them for a couple of months, like toothbrushes. You know, a toothbrush, after you've used it for like a month, you have to get rid of it and get a new one. It's a healthy, it's like a health and safety thing.
But of course,
oh, hey,
La posh, hey, yes, yes.
But because
wait, go pause, rewind, nigga. What do you say about toothbrush? This guy, JC.
No, but it's true.
It's true, but since when now with some saying
no, I'm saying that's how I'm coming.
Okay.
But since we were all broke, we are broke people. Sometimes you end up keeping one toothbrush for like the whole
year,
and
even more than the year.
Yeah, and that's wrong. It's unsanitary. You're not supposed to do that, but we do it because.
But right now, some toothbrush is just washing every month. Lastly, toothbrush.
No, every month they laugh. Food China, it's like they know, cause my gosh, more bigger, more figures to like toothbrush. Like there's so many and they're so cheap, and you buy them in bulk.
You can buy them in bulks too.
Even in hotels, obviously, I think at hotels everywhere they give you free toothbrushes. But there's toothbrushes everywhere, and they don't care, because it's a healthy thing, man. A health and safety thing. But yeah.
So now, I don't got my toothbrush. So so far. 1 week so like toothbrush.
I said 1 week. I said a month, but
no, give me 2 weeks. 2 weeks, buddy. You can buy these things. That's what you say.
But because they're cheap here. They're cheap here.
Yeah,
for like 12 car, you get like I don't know, like 5 toothbrushes. So it's very cheap. So you should get it and make sure that it's there. But yeah, those are the type of things I like. I like towels. I don't know why I'm a fan, but I like the idea when a visitor comes to my place,
we can just give them a towel.
They can have their own towel.
Like but they already have their own towel. They have.
No, but sometimes you forget. Sometimes you forget the
so you toothbrush for like that, so that other people can use the toothbrush, and you also have towels for other people.
Yeah, sometimes like if you guess they just came for like dinner and stuff, but you know the night ended up being so exciting, and the master said you'd be like, I didn't bring my toothbrush.
For no reason.
No, but okay. You are exaggerating.
No, you are money like that. Some who do money like that. Some do money like that. Buy 2 ice cream, throw one. Some who do money like that. Go to the shop, buy 4 ice cream.
But it's something tangible. And that's the thing in it's something tangible, something that can be used, and it's going to be helpful for later times. It's not that I'm relating into it's just for sometimes. Of course, one thing of course about being here is that things are so easily accessible, especially buying product. We know this. You have Tauba, it comes 2 days later. So now if you have this device, they can give you product at any time. You feel like you want to buy all the time. And then you end up having things.
So and it's nice to fetch your things, right?
Yeah.
There's a feeling of knowing something is arrived. You have to go fetch it.
They send you, and you don't even need to go far. It's just downstairs. You go, you take your thing, you come back, and it's here. And then you end up, 2 months later, you have never even used
that thing. Yeah, I know.
That becomes a problem. But the idea of it, it's easily accessible. You want to get it all the time.
Yeah. There's something, what do you say you wanted to talk about? Please, that and...
Right. It's basically working here. Basically, it's like we're trying to say China versus home.
Okay.
Basically, pros and cons for both. Because we know, as much as we think home is bad, there are things that are home that are good that necessarily here you don't really find. Okay. So it's work, social life, and the environment.
Come on, man.
Yeah, those are the 2 things.
The reason I'm saying come on, but as soon as you say social life and the environment, we were talking about this working the other day. Which why?
Yeah, but now we go into details. Okay. We did say last time we're gonna talk about it because we're gonna save it up for the next.
Okay, let's talk about it. Yeah. Why, JC? I'm gonna ask you this question. Now you're gonna and tell us why do you think these things, because one of the things that we're having arguments about, it feels like this thing shouldn't have anything to do with money in terms of protecting what we have. We spoke about Summer Park as a location, right?
Yeah.
Simple thing as a park. Lama Park are like China, we will never maintain them. The parking thing. Like random parks in China,
everywhere.
like everywhere.
Even downstairs.
Even here, like
park
and the park ya corner, zonke, like simple thing is a park. Park ya corner, zonke to a corner, is a functioner. People respect the things. Something.
People respect the toilets as well. But we'll get there.
True. Actually, there's other thing. True. Why is it? For an example, what do you think? Actually, there's the other thing. I'm a toilet system park like public toilet. It's something that you will never see at home, which doesn't make sense. Like when toilet, like when they clean, as calling to
you know, and then it's.
So then, why is it then that's at home we're like that? Because this thing doesn't, for me, it doesn't have to do with money.
It's weird because last time you said it has to do with money. Maybe you were making a joke.
Actually, no, I did say that.
Yeah, because you were like, yeah, if
we had money, we would
be doing things differently.
True.
And then
I think so, actually, in a way. But I mean, like the behavior, it doesn't necessarily have to do with money. Like for a person to do, like me trashing, he wasn't having for example, he swing at the park or like pee on the floor. Like personally.
But it's weird. Let's use the same thing that we were talking about a little bit earlier on. In terms of Uguti, we were talking about how Iwilo is in the same place as Hilton.
Yeah.
You go to Hilton and you see the environment and how they treat their places and even their whatever park that might be there. And you go to a place like in the city, Iwilo. Totally different situations and they treat things very differently compared to those places.
Yeah, as I nearly said something, but then I just remembered that that's not it too. I was thinking maybe it's because like here Willow, maybe things are like crap together, like I'm at Baning. But I'm thinking, what about China?
Yeah. Even more are close together, but still.
Who clean, bruh, everywhere, bruh.
Bruh, there's
everything is functioning. That's the thing, bruh. These people, I don't know how they're able to do everything that's in China that is functioning. Like Jesse, everything is functioning, bro.
I know.
Like this is so weird. This is like everything is functioning. We were talking about testing for corona. We already knew. We were saying the same things in the line of corona. If we say, guys, this was gonna happen. This was gonna happen. We were gonna stand for hours on this line probably because we spoke about these things. Here they will test thousands of people now, bro. If you go to that line. You don't even stand like
probably within an hour.
You're gone.
A whole lot of people.
A whole lot of people are gone, dude. Umagula in like 15-20 minutes tops. You done like, and you like why we can't why we're not doing that? Like why, bro?
I don't know. I feel like I don't even know if I have a certain answer or not in terms of what creates that mentality from us as. Basically people from home to not want to keep things functioning or to have things that are working in order. Because a simple example, park in terms of the toilet, you have a toilet seat, it's there, it's functioning, it can work, you can flush it, you can take a shit in it. But to me, decide toilet. Like I don't understand. I mean, for me, as a kid, I used to never understand that. But you saw the seat is here. Why in the world did you decide it's better take a shit next to the toilet or even on top of it or like under it? I don't know. Instead of just sitting on it, do your thing, pumuham. Like it's small things like that you need to understand. I think again it goes with how much authority that they have in here. I think that's another thing that helps them out in terms of what's about. They are always in line in terms of authority, because if you are doing something wrong, my man, you know it's wrong, and then probably you might end up getting punished for it. What another thing I think I want to say, but I'm not even sure about it. It's because here you are always being watched, and you are always basically, if someone is always watching you, they always know that you are the one who did something wrong, taking responsibility. They will know it's you who did it, no one else. Back home, for doing something because they know they're never gonna suspect it's me who did it. But here, you have basically like the responsibility is always looking ahead of you. Like buyers, if you go to the park and you maybe break the window or your shit
somehow they're gonna find out.
They're gonna find out it's you. You are the last person who went in here at this time, got a scat, to when figure and then you will have to take responsibility somehow according to the authority that they placed for the thing that is happening. And we don't have that certain authority back home. We know if there's a law authority, of course it's either people are gonna bribe it and it's gonna disappear, or something else might happen that just makes it invalid.
How it's got inzima nalento le, I don't even know. Like angazi one. Ngocabanga kunzima nokuqala like umuntu ose South Africa ukumchazela to explain to someone who's in South Africa like ukuthi like how things are happening overseas. It's hard. I don't know how to explain to people. But like as I'm telling you, in here where we are, things are functioning like it doesn't make sense. Like if I tell people that who are in South Africa, there is like everything like will go over there, you wouldn't understand the level of JC. Literally in China, you can carry your phone and like, dude, you scan, you do everything like with just like your phone.
Just with the idea,
just
like,
and you know,
can still go and come and back 30 minutes later.
Yeah, but in China, bro, I don't know, bro. Things, but the functioning for me is how things function.
Everything is simplified.
Yeah, how things like, for example, look at like let's another thing that we can actually make an example of. Imagine the mode of transportation in South Africa.
Or in terms of
transport, the transportation in South Africa. Think about it, transportation in South Africa, and compared to transportation in China. My man, come on, bro.
Yeah,
come
on. Function.
You know, it's like, bro, they have
Makumbi versus the metro versus
the everything that they have here, my man.
Versus the bicycles, the shared bicycles.
The shared bicycles, let's do everything, you know. Let's do this. Buga, for example, can you imagine comparing what is the service that is being used in South Africa? Bolt. Comparing Bolt to Didi. Why is it? That's my problem. Compare Bolt to Didi. Why is it, bro? It doesn't make sense. Like, why is it? Bolt, my man, like, come on. You know,
we
you know what happens there. Compare it to Didi, bro. Same thing, but here the class is different, bro. Like the way things happen is different here, you know. Okay, now we even haven't touched the other social issues that we have. Like, okay, that's one, and the transportation about, as you said, you know, that's another. And then now, as a collective of things, why are we not functioning? Like, I can't help it, but why are we not functioning? Because if you're gonna talk about, like, let's say you're gonna say, let's say, like, for example, as they'll say, like, people about oppression, the history of oppression in South Africa and what's not, and it's like, but the Chinese did the same things actually too. They had their own things, they fought the Japanese, they had war with Japan, they had their own things coming on to later. Also, they were oppressed by British too, you know, taking over even in Akuza being the last thing.
I mean, but,
to those things.
But at the same time, okay, we can't go there because it's not necessarily also the same. Because for us, there was a little bit of a line that was not clear out.
I'm still going forward with that, you know. Okay, you still have that, right? And then over time, like now, you know, I'm as old as democracy in SA, right? And I think I'm grown now, right? Like, why we don't seem to find something to function? Like, that's my thing. I just don't get it, bruh.
So basically, we have one working system that we know is always going to be functioning.
What is it that works in South Africa better than here?
That's the thing, because we're trying to
nothing, my man. When it comes to like function,
when it comes to functioning,
nothing.
Systematically.
Delivery, we spoke about delivery system. Delivery system compared to home to here, nothing. When it comes to functioning, that's my thing. For me, that I noted about Asian. I actually saw this too. What's this guy's name? The anchor with Trevor Noah. This Johnny Chang or something like that. Anyway, the Asian guy. He was saying that. You know, honestly, Chinese people don't even care who's the president, who's the leader of what, who's doing what. Does it work? That's just the only thing. Does it work? That's the only thing they care about. They don't care about, hey, does it work? Can we use it?
Function, bruh. There is nothing at home, bruh, when it comes to function. This I can say is better than here. Nothing, zero, nada.
Yeah, when we're going back to Jabusha systems and functions, yes, we can't deny, you would say, Asians,
They are
on their own level.
way.
Jabusha does it work, and they usually, it's weird, it's very, it's very weird how sometimes we make fun of it. We say, Hong Kong, I say Benzi, I say China. All those silly jokes. Yes, those jokes come from the idea of and some shit like that. But it's weird how much when you are here, things have function, and then they do. Of course, we we just finished making a joke like 30 minutes ago about some pretend into online. It comes coming at toys when you get something out toys. But Jungle Bush, they have such a smooth functioning system of doing things and basically managing things. It freaking works. You can't complain about that. As we were going to go with the conversation, there are things you will be able to complain about, basically socially and how people interact. But system-wise, function-wise, Jungle Bush and fan.
I'm not gonna lie, we're far. I don't even know how to explain that. It doesn't even make sense how we can have the same thing that they have. For example, as we made example with Bobs and Diddy, and we have different results. We can have the same fucking thing, but you have different results.
Do you think we can even mention making over with the bank, like the idea that to just fix one thing with the bank, like you had to like talk.
Bruh, at least one of those type of things for
something that would have been fixed.
In South Africa, I call FNB. I call them how hours and hours. No FNB. Hours and hours in face. Like such a small thing, face that they could do easily. Hours and hours, weeks, just to get my shit. Like weeks, just to fix my app because you overseas. This, bruh, weeks. You see what I'm talking about when you're saying function. Meanwhile, in China, you don't even pay to open a bank account. I was confused. We don't pay for the charges that we have in South Africa for everything. These big charges that we have, we don't have those charges here. When you buy in South Africa, they charge you. The fact that you're using your own money to swap at a shop, they charge you. What for? What are you being charged for? They don't do those things here. In South Africa, we are paying small 10 or swap card say what. 750 woods. Deposit in South Africa, send the loan 1,200 rand. You had that, right?
700?
Yeah, 100. Why? Like, tell me why. Like, but 200 rand or what to 10 rand? So 1,100 rand. 2,200. Like, why? Like, I don't understand that. Why? That's why I was confused. This person's like on the thing. Last cut my thingy, my bank. I'm like, why? What's it for? They said, no, text, what's the same. I complained about this thing. Why is it that the banks in South Africa compared to the banks in China? It's like, bruh, can you imagine we are foreigners here, but they don't charge us that money that we pay at home for nothing, bruh. They'll tell you administration fees and shit. Have you ever seen an administration fee in your bank account in China? Ever? FNB charge you 200. But what file month man at Basatu 200?
Like
just add meaning.
Sometimes imali yakhe awithi intanga for but I say no like your money is there and it's not doing anything.
Bruh, it's like what for, bruh? Why are you taking my shit? Like leave my shit. You never get that here. You never get that here in China. You never get that. Yeah. Like we don't have that. So as soon as it comes to fun, bruh, these people. That's one thing that's a whole Chinese for. The people that it's almost like if you have a job, you better make sure that you do your job. It's like
like because even the smallest person who does the smallest things, but do your job to your job, level. Like everything.
Because the guys, I always ask myself about the guys who make deliveries, the ones who come with the extra thing on their bikes and stuff like that. They're everywhere. It's many of them, driving their bikes and stuff like that. Those people are responsible for their system to work, to function.
Without them doing things on time.
I asked Ethan actually how much does he think they made. He said they make about 200 yuan every day. Actually, that's good amount of money.
Yeah, for
every day they work, they make 200 yuan every day. That's not bad.
That's not bad actually.
You said that's not bad.
To
That's
just, you know, from going, sometimes you can, I don't know, you can even be a person who, that's actually not bad.
That's not bad. You know, and but then my question is like, even how can you, if now you've been here, how can you try to imprint these things that we have at home? Because I have a problem in SA. I've said this before. I feel like because we've lived this life, we have a culture now.
It's become a culture.
Yeah, over time.
It's become a thing, a way of thinking. Valid things are working like this. It's fine.
Think about even the simplest things. I remember even when we were kids. Just no sometimes Muntashama street lights. Why? Why are we doing that for? So we did that. I'm sure you guys did that too. Chichirama street lights and much.
I don't know. It's almost like
why did
something. If something is not
you guys
familiar
did that
to
too,
you,
right? Why
you're not familiar with it.
Why were we doing that?
It's foreign.
It was just Chichirama street lights and much when we were kids. Chichirama street lights when we were team. Jabule would see your when. Tomorrow we need a street light. Like why did we do that? Like for example, because I remember we used to do some shit like that. Shiny sling sometimes street lights. What for?
And if you
we see those type of things, something that you wouldn't find here. You know, shit doesn't happen here.
But again, same thing. That I brought up earlier. The idea that you are being watched all the time. I don't know. It also almost has created this thing at the back of even people here. Because my man Bayasaba, like.
I think
there's something that also works.
And that's also catching.
No,
I actually think, I don't even think it's only about being what, but rather about what happens when we find you.
There's a I'm getting up on the show. What do you mean like that?
It was a Mosha, as a Mosha, my point. You didn't know each other. I should say, it was a Mosha. As a Wednesday, I was my point. I said, child, there's dollar, bro. Shouting in, I'm all over now. Yo, bro, don't play with Chinese police, my man. They fuck you up. My China, bro, they fuck you up, bro.
And you think it's just.
It's an Asian thing.
Yeah, it's a
people up. Was from the US. In a hotel. I forget which Asian country as was it. Was it even North Korea? Kusofia in a hotel, Chita, Obrali zinto kanjani. Waboshela like inanglo, like public what's just condoms or some shit, you know, something thing. Waboshela or something like that, you know. Obviously, America say English and
because my have to Chinese. When I take things out, yo,
abazi ukuthi le wrong ukuthi siyakeneza la
uzokuba mshaya into zama movie fethi bani bemlalelisa iziwa fethi emshaya ngeconze on your forehead
and they fucked him up.
I think that's the thing. Yabona ukuthi goes back to authority and law, how much they strictly follow the idea of law and authority. Bayazi ukuthi if you do something that's fucked up, it might not be very well for you or your family. So you understand ukuthi cha mfethu lungisa unontetho wakho musuwenza into engasiphi ekhaya mfethu. Imagine now as a kid njengokusho sibulela ama lights, imagine if you knew ukuthi uyabuka khona ozowazi ukuthi wenzeni bakulande kini bathi hayibo nasi sithombe this you did this and then
there's a problem in SA. In South Africa some people do crime if abantu bashaya icrime emakamera bawabuka bawabona icon bashaya icrime phambi kwamakhamera with no copperheads phambi kwamakhamera. Look at the guys who abashaya imoto zemali, for example. The camera is everywhere phambi kwamakhamera. You have their pictures posted somewhere, you know. Try that here and see how you can they'll fuck you up, you know. They'll fuck you up. So yeah, I think there's that thing here. They would see, yeah, they don't play here, then you know exactly it's okay. If I do some shit, they're gonna fuck me up, you know.
But another thing, of course, because if we're gonna go back to the idea of being realistic about it, because I mean, everywhere else in the world we all have those small problems, but because obviously, again, going back to how the place is, by color from a long time ago
Mm.
to implement this.
Mm.
So it's being implemented from generation to generation. Because I mean, even now in America, but the same problems. So go to basically fuck things up, basically break things up, and then make sure what's by our crimes basically. But how high is
Do you
the
know
crimes?
what? Can I say something now? Actually, I was arguing actually with Natalia over because I feel like because we form like free society, democratic societies, we are full of that. You know.
The idea of what
Yeah,
we
but
can do
yeah,
anything.
I want to be free. Why can't we vote? We are full of that idea, right? I was talking to Natal about that, like, right, during the dry lockdown and stuff like that. Well, because we are full of that and we see the value in we see, yes, we choose our own presidents and what's not. That also comes with own freedom comes with own negativity. Which makes it different from here in a sense. Because the idea here that they will fuck you up, they are the authority, the authoritarian regime, because of that, that's part of the reason their society is successful and functioning better than us, right? Because it's in what we see, they are lawyers, they're gonna represent me, I'm gonna get up, here they will fuck you up, and your family too is gonna be in trouble for your shit.
And you don't wanna put
here they're gonna fuck you up right here, So I think those type of things, for example, the reason I'm saying this, how bad or how many protests of lockdowns you will see in China compared to in SA. People in SA be protesting job and stuff like that to test. How many tests have you done here? 20, what's what?
Yeah, makuthaka.
Yeah, makuthaka something, yeah.
Ngo2. Sifunela applying utest.
That's why
Ngo2 uzobuya lapha.
Ngomayanga futhi uyenza leyo nto, it's fine. There are ways to make you sure ukuthi ugcinile. Ngawuphume lapha egate. Asinankinga
Kodwa awuyindawo uzohlala endlini.
Right, you're not going to participate with us in society because Tina said we care about ourselves, we want to do things. So when you're not going to be allowed in this, you're not going to be able to have this access, you're not going to be able to have this access.
Yeah, basically they've created this idea of the social rule applies to everybody.
Exactly.
We are saying this is supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen like that.
Everybody.
It's going to happen like that. But
same thing though. Again, going back to the freedom and lack of freedom. It has its pros and has its cons.
As I'm saying, so exactly coming to that, obviously, all these other things, even the idea that they fuck you up, those things, they're wrong, but it's the things that makes up their thing function the way they do. Whereas because I feel like, dude, basically we don't have, this is the law, this is, because I think, so with democratic like that, for example, this is a stupid thing that we were arguing about with Natalia Oguti. So, in South Africa, the government will figure out during lockdown, all dogs. So my cousin had dogs, right? There's a huge correlation between like trauma, accidents and shit like that with alcohol. There's a correlation between alcohol being available and the trauma shit, right? No, I'm just making an example, right? This is during Corona.
Yeah, right? No, yeah, I'm listening.
Also, there's a correlation between the thing of Corona. The reason they were shutting down Corona is because they were shutting down alcohol. It's because during Corona they found that there's actually a correlation between booze and this thing going up, right? And then now Spunatara, the democratic people, right? Western, where we from, our mindset of with democratic. No, but people should have a choice, I feel like, what if, like, I'm not gonna drink at the thingy, I can drink at home, right? I'm not gonna drink at the thingy. Why can't people have access to buy? Everyone it's their choice to be responsible. It's their choice to be responsible. See how your choice is gonna affect everyone. By the way,
true.
You can choose. You can be. See now, this way. Those are the thing of democracy. Those are the downfalls of democracy. Meanwhile, utshwala siyabonga kunjalo ayekho uzophikisa kunjalo yabo if it's functioning ifana nale it's almost like having a house whereby ingane zakhona izo lezi zikhuluma lana makuthiwa lana okay stop this manje no one is asking to man
ngathiwa nje into lezeka ivale this
Emma
Seleka
yo yeah no
guys, it's weird. I'm gonna bring something up. But saying at the include my students when it relates to this. Mina ngatuk. I mean the guys, are you sure? But yeah, we were doing psychology. The proposal we I asked every class just to see do these kids think the same way? Guys, what we were talking about, but we were talking about some theory. So guys, are you telling me if right now everybody on your message utole message like you as a student you need to kill at least one member of your family by the end of this week, would you guys do it? But no one in class said they wouldn't do it. I mean, by the end of this week, one family, one member in your family, would you guys do it? As big as Mingan, that's mean what but yeah, mean and bamnika illegitimate reason why ethi yena ngakwenza.
What is the rate?
Of course mina ukuthi ilokhunji authority yabo why izashingana ngathi yo hayi guys ngeke mina ngiyakwazi but yeah no but and I know ukuthi wonke umuntu akakwenza ukuthi mina so nje la esikoleni wasethi nje by the end of this week kumele futhi la esikoleni at least usubulo kunje usuqede ngamuntu ayedwa we students athi ngane yes mase ke obviously we turn it to a joke. It's I mean ngavele yami ngobulala loyana ngoba vele uyamcika and then we turn it to a joke but I ended up thinking about that in my head. I'm like yo how can umuntu eyedwa abe nepower engaka or ukuthi angisho ngithi angisho ukuthi umuntu eyedwa vele ngoba it's a big thing but yeah it's I don't know if it works as a pro or it works as a con to have the mentality in job.
I think it's dangerous when, but the other thing too is that it's hard in China to go to China and government president or General Trump, for example.
Yeah,
it's very rare. Yeah. It's hard. Given you go to one of my PhD bonk or some shit, I'm an MA bonk, bonk
also by intelligently away.
Okay, in India, most system is functional in terms of how to become like a participant in the thing. You don't choose yourself, you know, so now and the way it's fits. That's what these people do. Let's find ways into this. Because I feel like Trump in that place so an Indian if they didn't put us in this. Like we're gonna have our own way if they didn't.
But where we because during the monarchy time we have a bad line, so I don't know.
Yeah, but somehow we're gonna
find a way.
Yeah, we're gonna find another one. Because the reason I'm saying that, bro, would see. It's like I'm trying to catch
is one of the ideas not or one of the problems not coming from the idea with
sorry that but yes for example I told you I had Ada thingy TA where I used to think she had an access so she is allowed to participate in any government what everywhere where she's gonna be. There are selected people that are chosen by the system while they are in university that they can be allowed to participate in that. Not every regular person is able to participate. So imagine it's almost like one student something because it's an annual cum laude and stuff like that. They are the only ones who are able to participate in government. You know? You know, now do you see that if someone has a model like that, they are setting up for function. You know,
we know how well you are strong at, and we have seen it. We've been seeing it since you were young.
Since you were so you were able to have this access because they can see from your grades, from your what. They have all your records on this backbone function. Bias with an university, bias the course university, selected university. Only then you can be able to function. The class in like she said there were about 2 of them in the S university. There are people that were able to, you know,
to get
in her class, and then but in a school you find like maybe about 20 people that are able to, or like 40, 50 people that are able to have that.
How the
access
fuck
to
do you
that.
even get how do you even know that you have?
And that's the other interesting thing that she told me is that it's not like she was the highest in school.
Just
She's like,
another
no.
little
She's
one.
like, I was good. I was very good, but there are people who were better than me. But they didn't. They selected me. They selected them. They know what they selected.
So yeah, they understand what qualities are.
They know what they selecting. They know exactly what they selecting. Whereas in your country, sengabuela nje nami
But-
sengiyikhansela phansi. Kanjalo.
Got too busy. Your whole lifetime got to isidaba elokishini. Ugcine decide ukuthi
Bakwenza
sengifuna ukuba ikhansela.
Umjiji isigebengu amaze kathi uyaboshwa uyakwenzani uyabuya. Bamenze sayinakhuza asikhansela wadliwa kodwa nje.
But he was in the power with
He's running.
How did you have that?
From number 3 or something, he's running. Imagine.
No, but I mean, okay, I understand that, but I don't know. Maybe it does not bring up the humanity. Maybe people change. They deserve a second chance. Hey, but I can just imagine.
But it's still, this is the thing.
It's not as basically the system not created for.
It's like we have no direction, bro. Like these people are setting up shit for that. Education that's a child, the but it's set up for what type of society they want to have in the future. And don't think about it. Because bias with bafuna society is function AI in that's why they have that type of technology they have in schools.
Yeah.
Kids while they're young, they have the same thing.
Yeah, no, man, I get it. It's difficult, but we've been speaking about all this thing that works. What's not working?
Obviously, it's the same thing. What's not working? And then everyone is a robot.
Okay,
It's like people cannot function outside of the system. That's the problem with them.
There's no individual thinking.
Yeah,
We have rigid, similar thinking. Because even the adults, abantu communicate nabo like ngiyamazi mina bethi co-worker yami ngiyazi ucabanga like not being able to see this could have happened. Abone nje like the basic function of it ukuthi hayi njengoba wenza example about the machine le scan ukuthi wacabanga nje umuntu ukuthi you were not doing this thing for the whole week, that you would make a decision as a human being not to scan your face for the whole week. And they can't think about it. The system is broken. Something is wrong with the thing.
You think it's me.
You are just thinking it's the human problem. So yeah, that idea.
Yeah, it's because people become robots. They become so reliant to the system. They treat the system as gods and stuff like that. Actually, now with that being said, I think if there was a country to be doomed first by AI, I think this would be this one.
Because
they are over reliant.
I mean, I don't think it's good this because I mean, other Asian countries also rely on AI because Japan probably is like on its own power.
They will believe it more than
everybody else. So yeah, when it comes to that, if when they terminate.
It's this one need to go. So if something like that happens, I'm not gonna lie, they're going. Yeah.
Alright, so those are those the only side effects that we can see. What about socially? Because we can relate things back to socially now. Like, okay, system we have established, you would say system-wise, everything seems to function. It works.
Socially, I think it's gonna be hard to discuss socially because we're different people. I mean, I think, to be honest, I think black people are that they have. If there's something that black people are blessed about, like more than probably everyone, is that they have culture. Black people are cool. I'm not gonna lie, they're very cool, bro. They have culture. They're creative, in that way. So here they lack that,
I mean, I think again, Fells went back to this idea. The idea of copying here is seen as the highest level of creativity. Exactly. If you can be able to copy someone else's thing, then you basically it's like we have a norm which they can do the work, and you being able to copy that work, you are also on the same level. So idea of individual creativity
Because we
ends up
replicate.
disappearing.
Mm.
So you end up having this idea of replication, and it becomes a problem. When is that? I understand multi, Darkies, we got the culture, and we have these people who salvage those ideas from us to try and use it to create their own culture, but still. So yeah, socially, we are different. But
So
we
it's
have
hard
like a
because to me,
communication.
Chinese are awkward sometimes socially. They have to do like those things. Those things.
Isn't the reason I understand how
it's like
functioning
But why would you do that? Like, I banazo, bruh. I'm not gonna. When it comes to that, they have those things. We all know those things that they have. Unless you know.
Yeah, until you actually come and experience it. What exactly is the meaning, It's hard to explain.
It's hard to explain, but they have that thing. There's like the social awkwardness. I think though, but then for us too, I feel like it's unfair at the same time to say that about them, because that's because we're from a different culture and background, so we know something different from how they are. It's because
this sometimes the things are worldwide, buddy. Like
That's
they're
the
open
thing.
worldwide. They're like.
I see the thing you show me.
Well, of course, giving the fact to access to the outside world sometimes is very limited.
But just such a simple thing, everywhere. Everyone feels the same way about Tukafla. I even saw that on what you call the movie, the series that we said we're not gonna watch, and I watched it. And you're like, how by the one like professor and Pateno professor.
And a professor, the heist.
The heist.
Money heist.
So the heist, the girl was just talking about countries that she thinks she can could have ran off to. Like she's like, I thought of running like maybe to Brazil, play soccer. People play soccer there. It's always fun. Or I could have ran to France. I can't imagine being all the time or living by the big tower, Eiffel Tower. I could have went. She's saying those things. Or I could have went to an Asian country, but I don't like people who like to split everywhere. Do you see?
The small thing that now it ends up defining
Exactly.
the social behavior.
That's
man.
that's tells you about them.
But it's weird because now obviously when you would tell but what about going to SA? Oh no.
Have you asked them about why do they do that?
As long as I'm boost.
I actually have.
It's so weird.
I have.
But
it's natural.
It's natural.
But this thing is saliva. Everyone has. Don't you have it? It's natural. Don't you have that? Like sometimes it's natural. So it's natural. That's why it's like farting. They don't care about farting. You know that, right? Because Baba knows what's wrong? No point. They don't care about those things.
I think we have made the thing is we have made these small things etiquette. All this burping, farting and spitting. Tina says makes and look unsanitary and we have like
yeah, exactly.
We are supposed to
exactly.
They have this idea which is not
like,
just
what's
too
wrong
much.
with that? So for them it's like, but it's
like, can you imagine between nabantu and the like avele umuntu nje angabi nendaba
and the other people don't mind. They don't see anything. Exactly. That's what
or the idea ukuthi cabanga bethu kuyadleka bethu vele usuze.
That's how they don't care.
And nobody
I don't know. They just have a different when it comes to that. It's like to you, it's like it's like, but it's natural. I was talking to them. The girl was like, what? Okay, I was like, okay, guys, we can't do this, okay, because you guys are spitting in the trash can, right, all the time. You're doing all type of things. You throw. That's the other thing that I don't understand. Why people throw liquid in the trash can? Like they will throw like a cold drink in an open thing on the trash can. Like I don't understand those things.
Because and there's water dripping.
That's why I don't understand why they do that. Like amanzi, like in my classes, they would like amana goes puzzle twitter kanji. Trash can. But listen to the plastic trash can, they would do this. They'll pour it, like or throw the cup with water in the trash can. spit on it. And then now kids put other things there, from the trash can. Let's say ingane yosazingane idlala kabi post amabhola lapha and all the stuff thing. Ubani manje keep it because niyathengisa nje.
Lapha
Yabo bakanjalo ke. That's what mina that's the only thing for me. It's because dobavalelekile for them to have this.
ukuthi understand ukuthi worldwide it's a culture that's
this is not
how you interact.
Yeah, it's not how you behave. But they don't have that because they're closed up here, so they don't know how to behave like outside.
Yeah, because I mean I think I've heard so many times even the racial issue when it comes to Gucci, how they treat other, aphike umuntu athi no. Aye. We're not racist. I'm like, hey guys, no, we're not. But because the idea is that there's anything wrong in how they treat you when you are different.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel sometimes sorry for, especially like for Chinese, because I'm here, or Asians, especially who live here specifically the people who are here. When it comes to the race thing, I feel sorry sometimes for them, because it's not like white people. I feel like when white people are racist towards you, it comes with power because they have the advanced knowledge and they know what they're doing. In a way,
they're in control of that.
They're in control of that. Whereas here in China, it's like let me make an example.
Right.
Take a small lion or any wild animal, make it a house pet, and then put it back to the jungle and say it must function.
Of course, it will have
trouble functioning.
No,
doesn't know
because it's used to a certain different type of environment.
Yeah,
compared
doesn't
to
know what's supposed to happen. Who's supposed? Doesn't know what is danger in the
hunt my
jungle.
own food.
I'm supposed to.
No one is bringing it to me. Who's bringing the steak?
So it's the same way I feel about Asians. It's almost like you have people who are closed in this can, and now you're introducing them to
this new place, this
new people. Yeah, these new people, this new behavior, different people from them, different skin color and stuff like that. So however they act is not to say to be like necessarily like racist towards you.
It's because they're trying to get.
They're told, they only know what they know about. Let me make an example. If on TV they're being told, no, corona or these diseases are coming with black people,
that's what they're going to believe.
Yeah, they don't know black people anyway. So it's like, oh shit. Because I don't. That's the only truth there is. So when it's said on TV, it's coming with black people. To them, it's the foreigners who have corona and stuff. It's not us. It's not China. Can't be us with this disease killing everyone. Can't be us. It's probably Africans. So that's how.
So the idea is that if they had more access to what the world maybe or the other people would see, they exist out there. This
there is an actual
so when
world.
we get here, we won't be so foreign because it's so easy for us to get adapted to white people from outside of the world or Americans or
we already integrated.
Yeah, from the Emirates, because we understand we would see there is a world out there and this is how they act, and when we get there we're gonna find a way to function in that society.
So there's no history of like Chinese hating on black people or something like that, so hence I'm saying it's different. There's no history of them winning a war with the Zulus and what's not. There's no history of them killing Zulus, going to Africa to kill people, bombing people. There's no history of that. There's no history of them stealing gold and mines and where. There isn't history. Well, they might be making one now, but there isn't history like that.
They're making it in a different way.
There isn't a history like that. So hence I always feel sorry for the actual general person, the grandmother who's probably gonna die anytime soon.
And then they're walking out the street and then for the first time
they see
in 80 years.
They see for the first time, and they put on their mask because of what they saw on TV. So there's a different thing from someone who actually knows what they're doing. You're talking about people who've never
But it's also, I mean, yeah, I understand all of that. But it's also the ideas that you sell to the people who are younger. Because man, we will be honest with you. You even have kids
who do the same thing.
Yeah, kids who are scared of you as a person. When of course you're different, it's because you're different. But that's not how that's not how a kid starts, man.
Yeah,
a kid is supposed to be curious. To try. It means there's already been something that's been told to them,
yeah.
And then they create
they
this
teach
idea.
them, but they teach them. We're not the day before yesterday.
That is weird, man. To teach.
Remember,
basically, you
when
teach.
we were there, when we saw the kids.
How do you teach?
They teach them
hate. In fact, that's a weird thing for me.
But they tell them they don't make it like hate, but they tell them that the things that they think of black people born. They bring us. So when you see them, you have to make sure you don't breathe the same air as them. That's what they teach them.
So basically, now that makes the whole thing generational now, because it means the younger person will grow up with the same idea that you had as an older person, and they will end up teaching it to the person who's young.
No, racism is not gonna end, buddy. Yeah, kosher.
I'm not asking you to end
right now,
but I'm just asking you
actually
to have a different understanding, because
I think the only way actually to not have racism at all is to not have planet Earth and start afresh in a new planet. I'm telling you.
No, I remember we talked about that.
There's no way. That's the only way we cannot have racism is to start afresh in a new planet from ground one, from scratch. You'll see then. You'll see.
But it would in the new planet we would, I don't know, it's like we would have to not have the same ideas that we've had now, or we don't have the same history that we are living with now. We're just living there with a clean slate. Think of it like this: we go to the new planet, new babies get born, maybe like 1,000 babies, they get left there, and then everybody comes back. You leave these new babies to interact and find a way to always function without any idea or history that has been created in the earth. Because we have too much history not to remember, but that's the problem. Black people will always remember which white people were treating us like this, and then white people will always have this idea of superiority. We are bigger than you guys, and that's the problem.
But I think if we were to start in a new planet with nothing, I think that's what would level us. Because right now, history has already made white people there.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying we would have to not create. Yeah, we would have. These babies will have to be new. It can't be us. Can't be me and you. Because me and you know. Right?
They can fall into the same trap.
How?
They can fall into the same trap. Because
the reason we are here is because our ancestors lost important things back then. That's why we are here. That's the truth. We are here because they lost. That's why we are here. If they had beaten those white people back from there, if they had developed the guns first, we wouldn't be here, my man. We are here because they lost.
I mean, I think.
So
we lost. Shit.
We lost.
It's complicated. Yeah, intellectually, there was a battle that was lost.
Yeah, we were dominated everywhere. Bashaya, Baspuzizinto, Basfago, Apartheid, Basenza everywhere. Basenza, a lot of all type of things. So we had lost. Imagine coming back from the loss. It's like we're trying to recover. We're like, system over. You know?
Yeah.
We're trying to recover.
I
already lost a lot of things.
And of course, the intelligence that we have is based on the idea of their own teaching. It's almost like our own intelligence that we have is not as regarded as important as white intelligence. If I can make an example. You think it's pausing there?
That's cool.
You don't wanna go.
I mean,
Go press it there.
no, here.
Oh.
Mm.
I don't know how it works, man. What do we do?
Just cancel the thing. Discharge media.
Discharge?
Mm-hmm.
What does discharge? Does it mean it's gonna cancel?
Mm.
Huh?
Mm.
The thing will not be saved?
Discharge media.
Huh? Why don't you wanna save it? Why don't you just share it?
I don't wanna share it. I don't know why.
Nigga, share it. We might have some people. Uhlele ngathi uncle.
I think you border man. Border.
Hey buddy. Khuluma bethe sa record laphi lo khonje.
Oh.
I'm not nasty.
Oh, nasty.
Okay, I don't know where you go to go back to your life thing.
Okay, let me try.
But yeah, man, what haven't we spoken about? We have spoken about environment, we've spoken about work. Oh no, we haven't spoken about work.
Okay.
We have mentioned things around the idea of work, obviously, how the system is functioning. But I don't know, should we talk about work or are we saving that for another day in terms of how work is?
What do you mean?
M17. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like the idea of how things function.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have so many pros and cons basically when it comes to that then because ngiyazi umuntu bezokhuluma kakhulu especially Fels, she's always got something to say. But of course, I know some of the things. Ngiyabona usuhleka ukuthi I'm sure you're thinking about the idea of complaints and stuff, but how's working in China?
Easy.
Let's start from where you started, from teaching little babies to now teaching old babies. What's easy about it? What was sleeping?
It was challenging.
Yeah, what was challenging about it?
I was just challenging, I'm not gonna lie. I think it was like challenging in terms of time. Malapaya, weekends, terrible. I think everyone who worked in the center would say that.
I think I remember one thing that you had said, ukuthi mawula uzosebenza, they make you work for the money they give you.
Yeah. In the census especially.
In the sense that they make sure with every hour that you are
counted,
is counted for.
Because here in China, it's not even about the work that you do. It's just about accounting for. They pay you for the time, not the work.
The time
So if makuthiwa nje asenziwe sometimes emsebenzini kumele sizisohlala e-office kanje besize sokuphuma emsebenzini sihamba.
Yeah. Uhleli office for basically unganjela the whole day.
Yeah.
As long as you were there, because you are being paid for the time that.
Because they don't pay you for the work that you're doing. Because you can accomplish a task that you're supposed to do that day in an hour. That doesn't mean you can then relax or go home. You have to sit there. That's the thing about China. You know, they don't pay you for they don't pay you for your work really. They just pay time. That's what they pay for. They pay time. They count a day. They pay you for the day which you worked on that day.
They obviously deduct that day. I mean, in its own way, systems of work are like that everywhere. In some places, but some places also obviously they also pay you for the quality that you put in the work that you do, not only just the time.
But like when you compare China to SA, SA things are much more like think about you working at UKZN. There's so much flexibility.
True.
No one is it's your ass about you clocked in, you clocked out, we didn't even clock out and in. I'm serious, I think UKZN who knew when we were doing your work. Everyone expected that JC is gonna go to their class, they're gonna go to because education actually this is a good example. So let's say UKZN for example, what was expected of us? I see Ruth JC. Hi Ruth.
Hey Ruth.
Yeah. What was expected of you, for example, at the Hex? They just expect that you are going to do your work by the end of, let's say, end of the semester. You're gonna have marks for the kids. You're gonna have exams for the kids, and otherwise they're cool with you. Uguti, you came to this class. Maybe this time we say, guys, let's not do class. Let's just talk in class. Leave. Don't come to class tomorrow, guys. I don't want to do the class. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cared to check that. How was the prep? Maybe JC's prep. We were sleeping that day. Like, come, guys.
You can never sleep in this prep.
Let's come to the prep. Come to prep. Sleep here, guys. But the point that I'm trying to make, they didn't.
Did JC end prac at 5 exactly? Nobody cared. Everyone knew which JC knows what he's supposed to do. Umloji knows what he's supposed to do, for example. Have to hold up your...
You have to be responsible for the thing.
For your thing.
I would see someone maybe is like...
Yeah, in China it's like, you have to finish that time. It's like, let's say today, but guys, everyone can go, can work at home, you have to... It's about the time rather than the work here in China. That's a difference. Actually, this is a good example if you think about how we used to work at UKZN versus here. How many times you just go to your place when you're at UKZN? You say, okay, I'm done now. Let me go.
Let me
go. Yeah. Or let me just go to my...
Like, you need to... Yeah, the idea of flexibility and being allowed to be able to do things that you want to do and socialize and create and basically a life outside work. Because the idea, another thing that happens is they always want to make you feel like work is your life.
I hate that thing here. That's the only thing here, man. They make you feel like when they tell you tomorrow, which is a Saturday, or they text you on a Saturday, send you long ass messages on a Saturday and tell you what to do on a fucking Saturday. And they have this confidence about it that you are supposed to do that. Like it's it's on a Saturday. I don't even have to reply to you. It's that day. I don't have to reply to you. I don't have to say shit to you on a Saturday. On a Sunday, you can't tell me at 11 on Sunday. That's like at 11 on Sunday. Nigga,
that's my free time.
That's my time. You know, that's a problem here. Here in China, that's a problem. They have that thing like on a Sunday, on a Sunday at 11, please come to school for this and this. And it's like, you gonna give me money for that?
Yes, that's the thing, yeah.
That's
when
the problem.
Works the opposite way, they make sure that they punish you for not basically coming into work for or whatever time, whatever.
But when it's them,
or when it's them, feels like there's flexibility. It's okay. We don't have to pay you for the time that you gave.
Somebody says request has been sent. Michaela, hi Michaela.
Guys, a request has been sent. Go.
Request, but I don't see the request, Sabiso.
No, it requested to go to because it was a cool man.
Yeah, I know, but I don't see. It should show there if Sabiso has. Can you send a request again, sir? I don't see the request.
How do you even? Yeah, but continue, man.
Yeah, so for me it's done. You should see it there, but no, I can see it there. It should show. Can you place the video?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Did Michaela send a request too?
No, Michaela was just saying.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can connect with Star.
Oh yeah, no, he's just saying sending. I don't know. Oh, there he is.
Aibo, social life, come on. Uthini umzobe? But I think I saw you the last time, boy. Ngakubona fethi kancane fethi. Okay, boy, ngiyakuthola ntwana ngiyakuthola. Hambani fethi ngalapho ke fethi sesipanini sakho. Yo, which manje pho uvalile.
Not even teaching online, nothing, because I mean, the whole time, but we're still teaching. Hey, son.
Yo, fuck, bro. Engebe kunikeke vele futhi imali yakhe ukuphela. Uyangibona senganga wena. Uyangibona senganga. Hey, dlala ngami mfethu, uyangibona sengana idlala ngami ngempela.
Hayi kodwa uyagijima mfethu une treadmill, uyazama la ukuthi practice.
Isikhathi sayo mama. isikhathi sidetrack mina. Yizwa-ke le ima bethu ntwana manje pho bethu vele ngebe kunika imali yakho labantu vele noma bathini? Ima nivumelene noma? Yo.
I can just
Yo, I feel you my nigga. Thina bethu ekithi bethu sipana online bethu. Kuthi phela vele izindala akinami zethingane zethu. Akufani nangalapho on your side. We have all the kids. If it's high school kids are better. You know, because abantu khuluma abakwazi ukukhuluma nabo. Bayazi mele kwenziwa ama homeworks and stuff like that. Akufani ingane ezincane.
Ingane so let's nje uma video it's but yeah, I understand.
Hayibo boy, hayibo bethu by the way, bethu what's uJC bethu uyakhumbula ungane amakutshela ngayo. Yeah, showcase. Ima khuleka imuyakwazi buka bethu JC wazuba uyamazi vele usithabu bethu lo mthisi wabhidliza umuzi kubo bhidliza umuzi waqala phansi yena lo yizi izinto zegame lezi bethu it's I boy ufuna ukuphila le soft life ekathi bangibuyele
Kampela vele whatever life uyayo la kumele
ngamtshela uJC bethu ngamtshengisa cabanga ngimtshengisa ukuthi ayizi izinto zegame lezi. Ngiyabona boy
No,
imantwana manje pho uzomasha lapha ya Lokho isipani sakho
nawe wena uze ngala ekuphethe ngihamba kanjani
icorona dog njengamanje yabo manje kusane corona ke futhi yabo kunzima ke nanokumasha but yaqinisile lapho kodwa wangitshela ba grand ukuthi nje banento zabo phela vele labantu. Abanendaba nesipakho isikhathi ukuthi ufikile wenza nini waqeda kanjani they pay for time. Yo
but bafuna le idea ngempela wona ukuthi it's very weird.
Wafuna ukuthi ukwenze child. That's the thing about the bond. Then they sure angazi kanjani. Bakhokhela isikhathi lapha bese bakhokhela ispan bese bafuna ukuthi mawenzile leyo nto abayifunayo.
Hey, ngisebenzile ngikade bhekani guys, I spend time planning this thing nansi ngifuna ukwenza kanje. Hey but bona nje afike ngokuthi cha ubukhona wenza lo wahamba it's fine.
Because bakhokhela isikhathi la vele dog. They only pay for time, bro. Yabo.
Yo.
Corretto.
Showcase
dog. It's a bonnet dog. I salute it, boy. Salute mfethu. Inshallah, we're about to end it very quick now.
Yeah,
where we were.
I think we
covered everything that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah. I think probably the other conversation we'll have next time.
Yeah, we're gonna have.
Makona bafuna ukukhuluma bayokhuluma.
Mina ngisafuna sikhulume ngemali. God damn,
No,
man. We need
no,
to start
maybe-
people about money. I need black people to understand what's it. There is money like Shabi, bro.
It's weird because Jema think she
Yeah.
of course, now people are more aware about this thing, which you can teach online and you can teach internationally online. And it's weird because even here, you have jobs where you can be teaching from wherever you are. And another thing at the minute, it's because that's why I was bringing work, is the idea of you can come here to teach anything else besides English.
Yeah, people don't know that. That's the thing. People are Fundis English. Yes, people do. That's what everyone think that thing. More Fundis Chinese or Fundis English. People, teaching. People teaching.
Because now,
I'm
these are my own profession. For this,
I know what's like more. I think more now that you're saying that. Then more group themselves. Bafuna economics, maths.
Dude, they look for the weirdest things.
Physics,
Everything. I don't know what they're looking for, but I was like, there's even a job for that, but what do you do? How the hell? What do you do into this job? And then they actually pay you for these things. But they pay you a very good amount of money, 20K. That's not in rands. That's 20K in Chinese, basically, to do something so simple. I'm like, there are so many jobs that you can do here besides basically coming for English.
People think you're teaching English. Now people just not aware. Everyone's like, you're from this English. Ay, boy. For this was like, no HR. Yes,
but that's how you've been told. That's what you know.
Because some senses make you.
But now, obviously, of course, centers have been closed down, so you understand there's so many other things that you can actually be teaching, especially for if you come up from outside. They want those things. It's just that you have to find your way to get here and to do those things. And I don't know, man. I don't even know if the servers to get here, when will it be open again? And is it still open? But of course, we're still in a time we say Corona because was I talking to you or Fels in terms of like they got the criminal record place last month, where you have to find your criminal record value because they own money, government place owed money.
It's South Africa.
Can you imagine a government building owes rent money?
South Africa.
But according to China, it opened again, so now it's still functioning, so you can still do your criminal record. But when will people get a chance to travel again to do that type of works that are needed everywhere around the world? Because work is not just about being at home. You can find work internationally.
Hey, showcase if let me close this live. I don't know who's here, but
I think it's like paused now.
Osta, showcase boy.